Yeah, my model for that is the more money you make, the more money I make. So I want you to make money. So let's do this. I want you to do the work.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So you've got a healthy business, which obviously takes some hours to get organized. You've got children. How old are your children?
4 years old and 4 months.
Goodness. Quite a time commitment. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not even really at school. You can't, I mean, not that you'd send them to school if you could, but because there isn't any, but I mean, they're still at home kids.
Well, the 4-year-old goes to school 2 days a week. His school is open. And the baby, yes, she's at home. So what I have is I have a part-time nanny that comes in 2 days a week to help me. So those are my 2 days where I'm on the phone doing interviews, getting things scheduled.
Right. And you obviously have a plan that everybody has to adhere to in your family.
Oh yeah, they're here right now. They're sleeping. We're lock and loaded in a schedule. I am totally for a schedule. They have a complete schedule that they go off of every day. Is the same time, they're napping the same time, they're eating the same time. It's just a complete schedule for them.
Yeah. When my baby was born, the hospital told me that I should reorganize my life along a schedule, because that's what they do with babies now. I remember from my own childhood, and because I have a younger brother, and I remember that there was a very rigorous schedule of, you know, when the baby got fed and so on and so forth. And when the baby was put to sleep, and sometimes the baby didn't want to sleep. And I remember my mum saying, no, this is the right time. And then when I had my baby, they were all saying, oh, no, we do it, you know, as much as possible in line with what the baby needs. So I did that. I was in a different country. My mum wasn't breathing over my shoulder. I wish she had been, because she would probably have said, no, you need to get your watch out and start scheduling stuff. That was such a big mistake. Even now, at the age of 14, everything, according to her, is by her schedule. I've done it. We're changing the schedule, and you're going to eat when I say, and you're going to drink when I say, and you're going to go to sleep when I say, because she grew up doing everything when she felt like it. And I didn't have the sense to say, surely that's going to go wrong at some point. So I just went with what the doctors and the nurses were telling me. And I really wish I hadn't, because it only works if what you do is on a schedule, and if everybody sticks to it. And they'll only stick to it if you train them to do it from an early time. You know, even take the dog out for a walk at a specific time each day.
Yeah, my 4-year-old can tell you what's going to happen at every point in time. Hour of his day.
I love that. And you know what else that represents? That's safety.
Yeah. Yeah. He knows, and he can
and
tell
kids
you,
need to feel.
Yeah, they need to feel safe. They do. He can tell you, and he knows what's going to happen. She's getting into that habit as well, to be able to have this schedule. And he knows he goes to bed at 7 o'clock, and he knows he wakes up at 7 o'clock the next morning. He's on that specific schedule, and then he knows he has breakfast. He does his activities. He eats. He takes a nap. He knows his whole schedule all throughout the day, and it doesn't change. And I'm okay with that for right now, because they're still at a young age. It's very impressionable for them.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter getting up at 7 o'clock on a Sunday as well.
I don't get out the bed. He gets up, he gets his fruits, and I'm in bed still. He's okay.
Okay. So you can enjoy him and her as well as enjoy your work, because I speak to business owners who are spending sort of 20 hours working in order to make a living and not getting anything out of anything, or not imagining they're ever going to be able to create what they want. So how do you shrink your hours down without losing your income? I suppose you said it already. You make sure that you're charging something that's actually a workable amount of money.
Yeah, so you have to increase your prices. And I know people say, "Oh, you hear that all the time, increase your prices," but it's real. You have to increase your prices. And then that allows you to subcontract out so that you can hire people. It's helping people because it's fueling the economy, and you're able to spend more time with your family. So, and then I'm a strong believer in passive income. So creating courses, creating podcasts, creating things that are going to sell things for you. You want to sell passively. So you're not having to work all these hours to have consistent money coming through.
Right. And that's a completely another issue, isn't it? Because there are so many, I mean, creating your own content is something that comes later.
Mm-hmm.
You need the experience, and you need to be working with people and to know what works in order to create your own content. But there's loads of stuff out there, affiliate programs and things that you can jump on the back of. And even when it comes down to software and email systems and things like that, they all seem to have affiliate programs attached to them that you can start to build an audience and customers with. And then if you stay connected to those people, you can then introduce them to other things.
Yeah, definitely. So say, for example, when I build a website, I give them my affiliate link to SiteGround. They click this affiliate link, buy the hosting and the domain, and then I get paid from SiteGround, and I get paid for building the website as well. So yes, you want to set up affiliate links. Whatever you're planning on selling is probably going to have an affiliate link connected to it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you help people write books, then those books go on Amazon and you get paid every time the book sells or whatever it is. The same with your art. There's loads of ways. And there's probably new ways popping up every minute.
Oh, yeah. There's a million things you can do to make money. It's like the internet has made us wide open to ways that we can get money flowing to us, even if it's small amounts, to slowly build traction.
Yes, exactly. To get you started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that you can actually then increase your prices and gain the confidence, and then give opportunities to other people and pay other people to be affiliates selling your programs.
Exactly. It's a circle. It just keeps on going.
Yeah. 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 That works really well. And I did some research into not passive income streams so much you're talking about in the sense that you create something and then you keep on selling it, but businesses that you can do that run a little bit like that. And I was really surprised at the kind of things that people can invest in and buy and participate in order to generate some money. I mean, we all know about, multi-level marketing companies, or you have an apartment that you then let, and now it's even easier because you've got Airbnb and you can charge so much more, especially at certain times of year. But there's other things as well. There's investment opportunities where you can help companies fund credit card loans for people. And it's incredible the sort of things that there are out there that you can do that can help generate some kind of income. And I think at the moment it's really, really important. And I would take anything that you can invest, any money that can come out of that kind of an investment, and put it in a real business with, as you said, someone coaching you and helping you to develop that into something that's bigger.
Yeah, like you said, there's so many things out there. I think I've invested in, say they're fixing up a property and they're fixing it to sell. You can invest in that property, though. Once they get it sold, then you get your money back plus interest. So the sky is the limit, like you said, on what you can do to generate some type of income coming in to then start your business, the one that you actually want, your passion project that you're passionate about.
Right. Yes. And then give opportunities to other people, because you'll be hiring other people to do some of the work for you so that you can carry on doing the stuff that you love the most.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't remember where I heard this or how long ago, but it was a long time ago, given time, that generates some kind of income. So that if two of them, for any reason, stopped, you'd still have some money coming in. So even if you have a normal, ordinary, full-time job, have something else on the side, because you never know when that's going to disappear. And I think nowadays, it's even more likely to potentially disappear, even if just for a short period of time, because you connected with somebody who gets who's diagnosed, who tests positive, and then you're not allowed to do anything for 2 weeks, and your boss says to you, you know, you can sit at home for 2 weeks, you know, you're not producing anything, so I can't pay you. And suddenly you've lost, you know, 2 weeks of money coming in, or something else, or your company goes under, or I don't know, the world seems to have become so much less stable, which is why the benefits of being an entrepreneur are even bigger. Because when I first looked at your website, because I had an idea in mind, because we talked before about what you do, and you said you were an entrepreneur, because a lot of people use that word when they aren't really. But you really do have lots of things going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And you probably couldn't even tell half of it from the website. I have Etsy shop that I sell on. So when I was doing the tutoring company, I used to make homeschool workbooks for the kids. So I decided to put that up on Etsy, and Teachers Pay Teachers. So I have income coming from those two websites. Then I used to do an Airbnb, like you mentioned. Then I do the strategy sessions, and I have clients that I do marketing assistance for, different agencies that I work for. So it's like about 7, like you said, different streams of income, where just in case something falls or falters, I have something coming in at all times, because I have 2 little ones. I have to make sure that they're well secured in the future.
Right. And didn't you find that as you started to grow, growth happened automatically, because all these potential things come to you, and now you're in a position to do them? Right. Because you're not struggling so much to pay all your bills. You've got a little bit of extra, and you think, okay, where do I best put that little bit of extra? Yep. And then that grows into something. And then you have a bigger bit of extra, and you think, where can I put that bigger bit? And it gets really exciting.
It does. It does. It's like a snowball effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's phenomenal what you can do with just a little bit of extra money, like you said. Just knowing the right place to put it in, because they tell us, okay, put it in stocks, put it in CDs, put it here, put it there. Well, that's kind of old fashioned. I'm definitely do some of those things, but there's ways that you can make money quicker than waiting for a stock to mature, or a CD definitely to mature.
Right. Yeah. And there are some set it and forget it. Mm-hmm. There's some that you have to be a little bit more hands-on, so you get to do something else somewhere else. And then there's always people to talk to about another thing, even if we aren't going to the hairdressers.
No, I was talking to a lady online, and she gave me, I have a new brand idea that I'm going to be launching, and it was just going to be one thing, a journal. And she was like, no, you can do a deck of cards too. And I said, a deck of cards? She said, yes, let me show you my deck of cards. And so I'm doing now a deck of cards. And it just keeps on going. It just doesn't stop. And it's not that I'm making anything new, because the journal was going to have the same information that the deck of cards has on it. So I'm just moving it to a different medium and selling that other medium.
Just a different format, more interesting.
Yep.
People. Yeah, because some people prefer, and there'll be people who'll want both. And there'll be people who will want every single thing you do, because you're Janelle and they've fallen in love with you.
Yes, and it happens all the time. They're like, what else do you have to buy?
Yes.
Exactly. And how can I use your services?
Right. Yeah, and it doesn't seem to matter how many people there are out there doing what Janelle does. Only Janelle does it her way.
Right. So when people say, because I'm a constant giver, I'm going to tell you information. If you come to me and ask me questions, I'm here helping you. And it doesn't matter to me. I got on a call, a coffee chat with a lady, and she did the exact same thing that I did. And her and I were ha ha ha, kiki and sharing ideas back and forth, simply because there are billions of people on the earth. So it doesn't matter if she gets 10 clients. I can get my 10 clients too. They're going to love me, and her clients are going to love her.
Right, right. And that's so important, because it's not about being competitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the idea that when you have something, you're taking it away from someone else.
Right, exactly.
You know? And I know lots of business owners who hire more than one coach because they have a coach for a different thing. Not necessarily all at once.
No, and I didn't know. I found out yesterday that I'm going to give a comparison. In football, there is a coach for the quarterback. For each position there is on a football team, there's a coach for each position. I had no idea until yesterday. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's not just one head coach. No, there's a coach for the quarterback, coach for the line, whatever the places are. So imagine if there's coaches in football for each position, why wouldn't you have a different coach in all aspects of your life? A coach for your business, a coach for your life, a coach to help you parent your kids. There should be a coach for everything in your life. Of course, it gets expensive, but once you manage one aspect and figure it out, then you move on to the next aspect to improve that part of your life.
It makes complete sense. I never thought of it that way. And I didn't know about the football thing either. I wonder how.
No idea.
When you watch all these sport movies about how this team came up, there's only ever one guy.
Right. I thought there was only a head coach and maybe an assistant coach. I've heard of head and assistant coach. No, there's a coach for the quarterback, coach for the lineman, coach for all these different places. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But that makes sense. Let's put that in our lives and get a coach for each aspect of our life to make improvements.
It does make complete sense.
Yeah. Because the quarterback needs to do something very specific, right? So he has to have a specific type of coach. He's not going to do the same thing as a receiver who's trying to catch the ball.
Right. And they practice very intensely.
Mm-hmm.
One person wouldn't have time to spend that much time with each individual person, because then everybody else would be hanging around doing nothing.
Right. It's about mastering the craft. So they have a niche coach that coaches that particular position, and that position masters its craft to be the best quarterback or the best lineman, the best receiver they possibly can be. So instead of trying to do everything for everybody, get very specific on what you're trying to do and get somebody who does that same thing to coach you on it.
Perfect. Perfect. And I was about to ask you what one piece of advice you would share. And I actually think that what you just shared was really awesome, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Is there anything else?
So that is very important. Yes. And then do what you love. So we're working a job. Most people hate their jobs. Why would you start a business not doing something that you love? If you're working a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, doing something that you don't like or possibly hate, start a business doing what you love so that you're in passion with it at all times. And the way to stay passionate about your business is to keep doing what you love. If you realize you don't like doing accounting, like I don't, hire somebody. If you don't like doing marketing, hire somebody. Stay focused on what you love.
Right. Yeah, that makes complete sense. But I know there are people who say, they can't start there. They've got to start with something else while they build up. We talked a little bit about that at the beginning. When you start, before you can delegate, you need to still do a lot of stuff yourself, even though you don't love it. But I think that to hold that thought that you are creating your own freedom to do what you love most and to work towards making sure that that becomes a reality seems to be exactly what you've done.
Yeah. So I started, and how I delegated, I traded. So I bartered with people. And there are always somebody who's starting business and they're charging much less because they're trying to get started, like we discussed. So if
Yeah.
there's like somebody who's an accountant, they're just getting out of college, they're charging less, hire them until you're able, if maybe you're going to grow with them, or once you have the money, you hire up to something bigger and better, but always start where you are. Yes. But you can definitely delegate. If you start bartering or hiring somebody, get an intern, there's so many options. There's so many ways you can do this.
Yeah. And it seems to me that you are an extremely resourceful person, because you're always thinking of another way to do something, or a different way, or something more interesting, or something more fun. And it seems to me as though you're very inspired. You get creative ideas easily, and then
All
run.
day. All day. I have so many ideas. I have an idea journal. So you just write them down, because I will get nothing done if I just kept doing ideas all day.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
funny, because I've found as my business has developed that the same thing's been happening. You know, I used to rack my brains about what I was going to write my next email about, because I wanted to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now I find that not every day, but many days a week, I can't write my ideas down fast enough for the things that are absolutely, you know, throwing at me. Unfortunately, very often at 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's something I'm working on.
No, definitely. That's why you keep the journal next to you in the bed. So if you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, just make yourself a quick note of what your thoughts are and go back to sleep.
Yeah, that I'm doing. But that's fun. That's when life gets to be fun, when you can you can play with ideas like that.
For me, I started all of this because I wanted freedom. I wanted to stay home with my children and be able to be with them. And I have a little passion of travel. So I love to be able to travel wherever I want to go, but I still need to be able to get an income. So I started this business so that I could travel and be home with my kids and take my kids with me while I travel.
You're an explorer of cities, you said.
Countries.
Countries, was it? Explorer of countries. Wow. Where have you been?
Oh, Thailand, Indonesia, England, France, Italy, Guatemala, Jamaica, Costa Rica, China, everywhere.
With your children?
Yes, my son has been to 8 countries. The baby's 4 months. She's been to 1 so far.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty impressive. And all because you set up and ran a successful business from home.
Yeah. So it's cheaper to live outside of the country. America is one of the most expensive countries. So I go to countries where it's cheaper to live, so that my money goes longer. So even if I don't have a great month, I'm still able to live the lifestyle that I want to live.
So you're going for extended periods of time then? You're not just...
at least a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive. That's great. I love that. I mean, I go home regularly for sort of 2.5 months, that kind of thing. Usually, and if it's Christmas time, it'll be shorter. And I love the fact that I can just work from over there. And, you know, things tick on, and I don't have to work anywhere near as much. I have people back in the States who do things for me, and I check in with things. Yeah, it's really important being able to do that.
Yeah. I love the freedom that I have.
Yeah, it's so valuable. So valuable. And it's real. I mean, it's when you can make money, literally make money here, money there, know it's always coming in, you're completely free. It's amazing.
And your mind is at ease, so you can be as creative as you need to be.
Right. And that's the crucial part. It's about putting minds at ease. I think at the moment there's a lot of dis-ease. A lot of people are not relaxed and calm and secure about the future, and don't know how long things are going to last, how long their jobs are going to last, or, you know, they've lost them already and they're struggling, and that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But it really can be changed.
I think it's going to be a strong push for more entrepreneurs now. People are realizing that the stability they thought they had is not actually true.
I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you completely. So let's go back to something you hinted at earlier on, and we'll put the website up on the screen. You talked about an offer you have on your website, something that we can grab for free. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So it's marketing tips basically for you. If you go to my website, janellejones.com, it's going to be tips if you wanted to be able to hire somebody to start a business, businesses that you can start, different things. It's just a PDF there that is going to give you basic information on getting a business started and marketed.
Okay. And then on our website as well, we have we've got your picture, your bio, and we've linked to the gift that you've provided. Our website, MyHomeBiz.TIPS, can also see who we've spoken to before and who will be coming up next.
Wonderful, definitely.
And talking to you has been absolutely lovely, inspiring. It's awesome.
I've enjoyed this. This is so much fun. Thank you for having me. This has been great.
Yeah, I love the story. And I actually really enjoyed the sound of your voice.
Thank you. I hate hearing myself. I'm not going to listen to this interview at all. I hate hearing my voice.
I don't know what it is. There are some voices that I just hear and I think, oh, I could listen to that person a lot longer. I will be listening to this one again. And I might phone you every once in a while because I love the sound of your voice.
You're not the first person to tell me that, so thank you so much.
If you're ever stuck, read something, read a book and put it on Audible or something, or hire your voice out for people to use, become a voice actor, something like that.
Thank you.
You ever run out of ideas? Janelle A. Jones, thank you very much for spending some time with me here this morning. It was truly delightful, and I love the story. And hearing real people and how they faced real problems and what they did and how they've come out of them is what this is all about, to inspire other people. And it was truly delightful, and I love the story. And hearing real people and how they faced real problems and what they did and how they've come out of them is what this is all about, to inspire other people and then give them the tools to do them, which you're doing through your website, and they can find other information at our website. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Janelle Jones. I'm Andrea Kuchin. This has been My Home Biz Tips, where we inspire, empower, and support home-based business owners. Thank you for joining us today. We will see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.